Yoruba nation cannot be enclosed. We are evolving. We have what I will call our guiding principle, our core value. And at times we make the mistake of looking at the geographical location alone as the Yoruba. No! Yoruba is not a geographical location, it's an imbibed culture.
Dear sir.
No, Kole. In Yoruba land, we cherish our name. We have the Omoluabi mantra. But we have forgotten the fact that we are still human.
We are still human.
We are still human. First and foremost, we are human before we are Yoruba, before we are now Nigerian. Tomorrow, there may not be a country called Nigeria. I'm not praying for that. But you cannot take the Yoruba away from me. And you cannot take my humanity away from me. It was just a descriptive something to say, this is a country called Nigeria. This is a country. They can even change Nigeria now. We say we are not bearing Nigeria again. We want to bear Wasobia. Yeah. So if we are looking at it from the territorial perspective, the agitation is unfounded. That's where I'm going.
The agitation is unfounded?
Yes.
Just like that, sir?
Yes. Let me tell you the reason I said it's
yes,
unfounded. Sir. As we speak now, if we now said, okay, let's just break away. The same thing we are running away from at the national level now, we'll still find it happening in the so-called Yoruba nation. For example, maybe we now have the Federal Republic of Oduduwa. I don't know what they want to call it. And you discover that out of, when they start counting the president, the first one happens to be Ijebuman. The second person, Ijebuman. The third person, Ijebuman. When you get to the fourth person, the Ilesha people said, so, okay, we will now have Ilesha nation. Oh, we now have Ekiti nation. The whole world is moving to the era of globalization. What we should be doing is not to enclose ourselves, but to project ourselves. To project that inner value, that exclusive Omoluabi that God has given unto us. Now, and we are so happy.
That's a fantastic culture.
Then we came up, during that time, the kind of nursery rhyme that we used to sing. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ níṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ á máa jalè. We were growing up. Then later on, we got to the point of we are singing bàtàrẹ́ àdún kó kó ká.
Bí o bá kàwé rẹ̀, bàtàrẹ́ àró kó kó ká ká.
Very nice. But can you wear high heel to the farm?
No, sir.
Can you do koko ka in the farm?
No, sir.
Money is only good based on the value of what it can buy. So if there is no production, money will lose its value. So in the southwest, the Yoruba nation, our agitation should be more of the mind than that of territorial jurisdiction.
Or territorial restriction.
Then we should go back to know that even though we have acquired the knowledge, the academic knowledge, it should not be a barrier for us to go back and conquer the land by being productive with the land. him go and approach his lawyer. And if he believes that he has, good facts that he can present before the court, that will warrant the court to find, in his favor, why not? I will advise him to do that. That will give Kwamwontu an opportunity to present his own defense. And the court will look at it. As far as we are now, God has given some men that privilege to be arbiter and judges over our cause, over our matter. So that's what I would say.
Let me ask this last question, but when we come back to Ibadan, we're going to take you on some other issue. I want to ask you about the Yoruba civilization and the Yoruba, what they call it, Yoruba nation thing and all that. I look at the Yorubas, even from the perspective of Ibadan as a city. I look at Ibadan as a cosmopolitan city. What's your perception of Yoruba agitation, a Yoruba independence, and a Yoruba federation that is up to its own strength of economic empowerment and livelihood?
Now, the Yoruba nation, for me,
yes, sir,
is a nation created by God himself. And it's there. When the people were trying to gather together, they said, we are not going anywhere. We want to build a tower so that we will all just remain here and enjoy our life. They call it the Tower of Babel. Because God said that if we allow these people to do what they are doing, if people can conceive it, then they can achieve it. One day, but that is not the will. That is not my purpose for creating them. Now, let's scatter them. Let's make their language for them not to understand themselves again. And during that process, the Yoruba language that forms the identity of the Yoruba nation was formed. So it is not the creation of man. I am talking from the biblical perspective.
Okay, sir.
We have the mythology.
Mythology,
the
Ajantala that fell from heaven.
Oh, not Ajantala.
I don't know. Is it Obatala?
No, yes. That came with the pot of sand and all that. Yeah.
Spread it and good. And all that. Yeah.
Those people that believe in that, fine. But this is what I believe. Now you see, the group, if you go and check the description, the way they describe the Yoruba people, they said they are the loud tribe of the southwestern region of Nigeria. We are very loud. I think the only tribe that can say that culturally they are louder than us, we should be the Indian. Because in Yoruba land, we have reason for everything. Eko aro, eko asan, eko ale, eko bimo, eko joko, eko soro, eko duro. Very rich. So we are peculiar people. But do not let us forget something. We evolved, and we are still evolving. Because if you look at the way some people translated, they said we migrated from the Middle East.
Yeah.
Larubawa.
Yeah, from Saudi.
From Arabia. Saudi. And if you look at our culture, our language, we are distinct people. So when you talk about Yoruba nation, what you are saying is that you want just something that will be a closure, and that will not be too good. Yeah.
I'm afraid that you said that will not be too good.
Let me tell you the reason why.
Yes, sir. I'm talking of
as we speak now.
Yes, sir.
I think in Brazil, Sao Paulo or something.
Yeah, Sao Paulo.
They have a Yoruba Oyo Tutu.
Oh, yeah.
In America.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
What about K2 in Republic of Benin? Do you know how many nations of the world that are now imbibing the Yoruba culture? That they want to be like us.
Russia, they have started in their school.
So if you are not saying you see, when you talk about nation, the nation is like you are putting an enclosure. The Yoruba nation cannot be enclosed. We are evolving. We have what I will call our guiding principle, our core value. And at times we make the mistake of looking at the geographical location alone as the Yoruba. No! Yoruba is not a geographical location, it's an imbibed culture.
Dear sir.
No, Kole. In Yoruba land, we cherish our name. We have the Omoluabi mantra. Let me, as a lawyer now, if someone is arrested and taken to police station, even while in the police station, the family members, everybody will be running around. In fact, some people will be saying, "What if?" Because they know that that is not a good image for their family, for their name.
It's not a good PR.
It's not. You understand? They have the name to protect. In the Yoruba culture, we are communists. We live in a communal setting. In a community, in any community in Yoruba land, if anything happens, if that place is headed by the Kabiyesi, the people will rush to the Kabiyesi. The Kabiyesi will now say, okay, where this thing happened, who is the sectional head of that place? The Kabiyesi will liaise with maybe the Baale. Then the Baale will now go and look for the head of that particular family. And ọmọ tani, ọmọ lágbájá nílé lágbájá ni. And when that one happens, then you know that you are not just aloof. Because whatever you do as a member of the family can have a ripple effect on your own family, on the section of that part where you live in that community, and on the whole community. So when you talk about a nation, if you look at the concept of a nation, you are talking of people that have similarity both in culture and in their way of life. And if you are now looking at it from the point of geographical or territorial jurisdiction, to me, that is not right.
Okay.
Me, I would rather look at it from being a Yoruba man from the inside to the outside. So, the Yoruba nation agitation now is not really based on the core value. Majority of the people that are agitating now, they are agitating because they believe that there are some people dragging us behind. Socio-economically, you are not making us to move forward.
Of course.
We know where we are going to be.
Of course.
Or we know where we are supposed to be.
Of course.
If you are not dragging us, and that is why they will say, but we have forgotten the fact that we are still human.
We are still human.
We are still human. First and foremost, we are human before we are Yoruba, before we are now Nigerian. Tomorrow, there may not be a country called Nigeria. I'm not praying for that. But you cannot take the Yoruba away from me. And you cannot take my humanity away from me.
We are not part of Nigeria anymore. The amalgamation has stopped since 2014. And we are still in that contraction. It is enough. We are no more their slaves. Now, we cannot carry gun. The Fulani are licensed to carry AK-47. The Yoruba, we cannot defend ourselves. Now we are saying to you, wherever you are now, listen and listen good. We are going to carry the same AK-47. We are going to fight for our rights. We are not going to fold our arms and let your people kill us. You need to go back to your country. We don't want you in Yoruba land because we are telling you, all our children that have been killed and raped, enough of it. And I mean it. All Yoruba are saying to you that this is the time for you to leave now. You need to leave. If you don't leave now, you will leave by force. Yes. You will live by force. Yorubas are not joking with you, and we mean it. When we talk, we stand by our own word.
It was just a descriptive something to say, this is a country called Nigeria. This is a country. They can even change Nigeria now. We say we are not bearing Nigeria again. We want to bear Wasobia. Yeah. So if we are looking at it from the territorial perspective, the agitation is unfounded. That's where I'm good.
The agitation is unfounded?
Yes.
Just like that, sir?
Yes. Let me tell you the reason I said it's unfounded.
Sir. With the reason, sir?
Because you cannot give me my rights. I was born with it. And for me to be here, where God has placed me, it is my fundamental right to be here. And if you are now coming from your own direction and you want to fight me on my land, then I will tell you, you cannot do that. But that is not a Yoruba man for you thinking along that line. Because in Yoruba has this ability to open their arms.
Accommodation.
And bring in people. That is the reason. This is my personal opinion, that God made the Yoruba to be the catalyst for all the different nations, tribal nations in Nigeria. Just imagine a Nigeria without the Yoruba nation.
It would have been a bit boring.
Not only boring, it will have been a catastrophic situation. Because the inner man, the way, the value, is quite in here. We have just, the Oyibo people did not teach us sociology in Yoruba land now.
You are right, sir. I agree, sir.
They did not teach us government in Yoruba land.
Yes, sir, of course, sir.
When they came here, they met a well-established form of administration.
Egba Federation, Ibadan, Oyo Empire.
Good.
Everything else.
Like that. And in those days, too, you still find out that we still have InterTribal Warfare. You can still remember the Ekiti Parapọ̀, the Kiriji War, the Ibadan Ijebu Abeokuta. It's human involvement. As we speak now, if we now said, okay, let's just break away. The same thing we are running away from at the national level now, we'll still find it happening in the so-called Yoruba nation. For example, maybe we now have the Federal Republic of Oduduwa. I don't know what they want to call it. And you discover that out of, when they start counting the president, the first one happens to be Ijebu, the second person Ijebu, the third person Ijebu. When you get to the fourth person, the nature people said, so, okay, we will now have Ilesha nation. Oh, we now have Ekiti nation. The whole world is moving to the era of globalization. What we should be doing is not to enclose ourselves, but to project ourselves. To project that inner value, that exclusive omoluabi that God has given unto us. Now look at it. In Nigeria today, this is my opinion. I have said it. Anytime that the Nigerian nation is in a mess, a Yoruba man will run to the rescue.
I agree with you, sir.
We all have our areas of natural comparative advantage over others. For example, the Igbos.
Yes, sir.
You cannot take it away from them. Go and look at it from the world. It is in their gene. How to trade, how to add value to things, science and technology. You can't take it away from them. To be enterprise, to be, a commercial person, they are there. But when it comes to tact and diplomacy of political administration, they do not have it. That is why they are finding it. It's like they believe that the other major tribes, they are trying to push them. They are not giving them the opportunity to become, it is not. Comparatively, if I happen to be in a position of authority, all my ministers for science and technology will be from the Igbo. All the people that will be in charge of commerce, and trade, industry, they will be from there because that is where they have their natural endowment. When you talk about agriculture, because that is where you started from.
Yeah, of course, sir. That is my fear.
Let me tell you, the Awusas, the Middle Belt, all those people, give it to them. The Middle Belt can fill the whole nation.
I agree with you, sir.
The Northerners, they are not afraid. They can act as security for the entire nation. When it comes to the issue of carrying arms, being bold, you see all these bandits, all these kidnappers, if not because we had some kind of anathema or some kind of wala in the nation, imagine all of them be part of the military force of this nation.
Added value.
They will have, you get it. That is their comparative advantage. But when it comes to the Yorubas, ọgbọ́n àtinúdá, the Yorubas have it.
Ọgbọ́n àtinúdá.
The ability to mix things up and bring out things, a new thing to reality, the Yorubas have it. During the Civil War, Gowon was looking for somebody that will be in a position that will not allow the war to affect the economy and that will make them to propagate that war with minimal cost, but at the shortest time. He looked for a Yoruba man, Chief Obafemi Awolowo.
He brought him from the prison, sir. The man was languishing in prison, in jail.
And it's because of the antecedent of today, what we are enjoying in the Southwest was because of the foundation laid by Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Now, when you are now saying that Yorubas are no longer producing, when it comes to agricultural, we have the land and everything.
Yeah, we have the land, but the lands are empty.
See,
the food are coming from the north to all the markets.
Good. Our mindset was not programmed toward agriculture. It was programmed by that in the 50s, in the 40s, in that region, to the level of being an administrator. I'm from Ekiti land. You remember what the barrister said? Adebayo,
sir.
He said, he's from my area. I said, I'm from Ekiti too. He said, it is only recently that the Ekiti people are now going into studying law, studying things. But there is one thing. Up to the 90s.
Yes, sir.
Early 20s. There is no household in Ekiti without a professor.
Kabiyesi.
You will see, and when you see them coming, it is when you meet them at their domain, their professional domain, that you will realize the kind of impact they are making. Because the mindset then was that so the only way you cannot that you will not jia is to send your children to school.
Okay.
So academics, learning, knowledge then was seen as a way to break poverty. So we neglected farming. Awolowo started farm settlement, Fashola farm settlement, all those things. They were all there. When I was in the Polytechnic, I saw big silos. The farm settlement died because we were given the something that we want to be professor, we want to have knowledge. Yes, we achieved it. A Yoruba man with the level of knowledge, with that tact and diplomacy. People may say, Tinubu this, Tinubu that, or whatever. The way the man is fighting, tooth and nail now, to ensure that things come around, started during the time of Awolowo himself. Because you discover that people will not believe in you. But because of the knowledge you have, and what you know that is inbuilt in you, you want to prove to the world that failure is not in my agenda. Yoruba man will tell you, I will not fail. No matter what it will cost me, I will not. If it will mean going to the end of the world to go and gather knowledge, I must not fail. That is why you have so many professors. Because when they are focused on something, they will do everything to achieve their aim. But the younger generation, they are not seeing they are not looking at it from the same perspective.
Okay.
The younger generation now, the perspective they are looking at is gliss, glamour, and the razzmatazz. So, how will you now say that I'm a celebrity and I'm a farmer? How will you say that I'm a graduate and I'm now rearing
rearing
cattle somewhere.
Rearing goats.
To them, it's like oil and water. They can never mix.
Uga.
That is why that kind of something is coming up now in the Southwest. In those days, the mother will say, "You are mommy, you are now back from school. Just sit down. If it is only this my last wrapper, I will go and sell it so that you will go to school." They were not channeling their energy excuse me, to productivity in terms of agric. Because they believe knowledge is power. When you go to school, you have the power to fight poverty. But this is it. When you got here, you said this laptop cannot translate to a bag of rice.
You can't bring bag of rice. You can't bring yam. You don't even bring Milo
from it.
Yes.
But you see, I can
bring tomato out of the laptop.
But I can do one single letter on this laptop.
Okay, sir.
That will give me money that I will go to the market with and buy all those things. That is the kind of perception we have in the Southwest. But it has gotten to a level now that we should now do some kind of reorientation, the renewal of our thinking, that no matter where you find yourself, you can still be productive. I don't know what we can, the way we can, I hope we have not lost this present generation. Because when I was in secondary school, you will be schooling. I went to a technical school.
Yes, sir.
We still have farms that they will mark you at the end of the year. And what we normally do at the end of the year is that maybe if it is maize we are harvesting, we will harvest the maize, and on the assembly line they will now give us that maize. Right there we'll be eating. Some will boil their own, some will, and we are so happy.
That's a fantastic culture.
Then we came up during that time, the kind of nursery rhyme that we used to sing. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ níṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ á máa jalè torí ìwé kíkọ́, láìsí ọkọ́ pẹ̀lú àdá kò ì pé o. We were growing up. Then later on, we got to the point of we were singing bàtàrẹ́ àdún kó ká
bí o bá kàwé rẹ. Bàtàrẹ́ àròkò kó ká kémi kàwé mi bàtàmí àròkò kó ká.
Very nice. But can you wear high heel to the farm?
No, sir.
Can you do koko ka in the farm?
No, sir.
So we started getting it wrong.
Jesus Christ.
And before you know it, people now look at agric. They are looking at, when you are said you are a farmer, as a dread of the society. But thank God for one thing now. We are now having what I will call a realization. A new realization. If you look at Facebook, my wife was showing me so many things on the Facebook. What people are doing even in the confines of their home. Because when you tell people now, there is nothing hard, there is nothing bad when you farm. The Fulani will kill us. The insecurity and this. Yeah, people. They
herdsmen.
But now, I saw a video yesterday. Somebody was planting yam inside cement bako bag in his compound, and he said, when you plant that yam, you can still plant tomato, you can still plant okra, you can still plant. If not
innovation,
if not for anything, for the mere fact that when you wake up in the morning and you see, these are my handiwork, I am being productive, there should be some kind of joy in you.
Joy unlimited.
I saw a video yesterday, fish, and I was thinking, how on earth? The guy said that we are looking for somebody that will supply us 40 kg of, this Ijero, this, and they got to a farm that, sorry, I don't have to 40, I just sold about 28 kg. Now what I'm having is about 40. And if you calculate that, it goes in millions. Glamour is good. Gliss is good. Batareado Kokoka is good. But at times, before I come to the office, I'll go to I don't have a fish pond. What I did was that I bought this GP tank. I bought 2. I started with about 30, 40 fingerling. And to God be the glory, today I'm having about 160.
That's fantastic.
I have cottage. Now when you talk about chicken, I don't need to go to anybody where to. I'll go there and I'll buy my chicken. I will just pick my chicken. I have eggs. So I'm not thinking of buying eggs. I'm not thinking of buying chicken. I'm not thinking of buying fish. And in my small farm, I have vegetables there. You see, it is not, we should try to reorientation. Farming is not bad. And I even tell some people, I say, look, youth, if you think that doing it alone may look somehow, if I have the opportunity, I will form youth into cooperative society. If you have 10 and your area, what you like is fish, fish rearing or something like that, form yourself. Let's go and buy land that will be suitable for it. We can translate it and make it a corporate outlook. If it is cocoa farming, I learned that cocoa gradually now at Ileoluji is springing up again.
That's good.
At Ondo, those people are going back again.
That's the good news.
I heard now that in my area there, palm, I even heard a story recently that one of the foremost palm oil processing company that left Nigeria 35 years ago, they are now back. Agriculture is the number 1 trade, the number 1 industry for man. It is not just because you like it or you don't like it. It is a commandment.
My God.
You will till this land. Out of this land, your food shall come for you. If you have 200 billion naira in cash, in gold, and you are hungry, you want to eat pounded yam, put all the 200 billion naira together. If you eat 10 pieces of notes, you will go to the hospital.
Jesus Christ. You land in the hospital, sir.
I'm telling you.
Maybe National Hospital Abuja.
Anyway, because they will do operation to remove that. But that is not food. Jesus. Money is only good based on the value of what it can buy. So if there is no production, money will lose its value. So in the southwest, the Yoruba nation, our agitation should be more of the mind than that of territorial jurisdiction.
Or territorial restriction.
Then we should go back to know that even though we have acquired the knowledge, the academic knowledge, it should not be a barrier for us to go back and conquer the land by being productive with the land.
Well, I want to thank you for the very humble submission, education, and direction given on the agitation of the Yoruba people. We are still going to say more because there's still more to say on that topic when we come next time to Ibadan, sir. And we want to appreciate your direction because a lot of people just felt that we have to make noise, we have to carry gun, we have to push some people out, we have to escape. Of course, there are a lot of Scottish people, scons in the bushes. There are a lot of horrible, terrible intruders that are killing our people, raping our women, causing all sort of demonic havoc and all that. But I want to believe that with people like you, with your thought pattern and your direction, maybe there's going to be a kind of consciousness and a kind of conscientiousness towards achieving an economic egalitarian society for the Yorubas. So I want to thank you, sir, for this wonderful moment. Well, that is Barrister Ayo Arowoshafe of Ayo Arowoshafe Chambers here in Bodija, Ibadan, Oyo State, Western Nigeria. I want to appreciate him. Well, this time around, you can easily get through. We'll just give an email strictly for education, not for consultancy or anything, not for advert, just strictly for education, because some of you said you might want to reach out to hear one or two things, especially in terms of direction giving and education, and we oblige that. Till the next time that we meet the barrister in his elements, in his chambers, I want to say, please be a good citizen, be faithful, be fruitful, be productive, and be discerning. God bless you. Goodbye.